Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm always kind of on the quest for the ultimate life, trying to be the most happy, trying to be the most fit, trying to be the healthiest. Due to a lot of chronic health problems, I've kind of delved in this direction, and so as a result, I am always interested in the latest and greatest in things that I can do to make my life better. I've found that when I go to buy a device or go to a retreat or something, there's just never the reviews that I'm looking for. So my goal here is to share my reviews, hoping there are other people like me that could benefit from this information. So for my first video, I'm going to share what I did this weekend. I did a meditation retreat that was actually online over Zoom. Trust me, I get it. Zoom sounds awful. I am so tired of Zoom calls. I cannot. And why can't I hide the chat? So my tool for that is I figured out that if I bring the chat out and then slide it down so that I can only see the bar, I don't have to see what everyone says. Not that I don't want to see what everyone says. God, that sounds horrible. But it's kind of distracting. So a Zoom meditation retreat sounds terrible. It was amazing. It was called Now Rising. It was led by Kyle Cease, who I have personally been following. I actually own his comedy DVDs. He used to be like a stand-up comic. It's led by him. We did meditations, we did breath work, and we had a session for Kylego. Essentially, it's kind of using the idea of affirmations, but in phrasing it in a way that makes your brain not resist it. And that's the other great thing about him, is that he brings so much comedy in that your body doesn't resist kind of some more spiritual, kind of out there, kind of woo-woo, as I like to call it, ideas. And I say that with love. I'm very woo-woo. So it kind of just creates a really safe space. So it was 3 days. So the first day was kind of a half day. The registration was kind of weird. You have to submit to a link. And of course you're waiting for 40 minutes going, did I do it right? I mean, they're going through hundreds of people. I get it. But it's just, you're just like, did I do it right? Is it going to come? Am I going to get the email? Of course I got the email. It was fine. But, so he talks a lot. He brings people up and helps them talk through their problems, which, always brings light to some issue you've had with some person in your life, something you're still holding on to. Day one was also the first day of my water fast. So, well, it's not really a water fast. I drank a half a cup of coffee in the morning because I like to sit with my boyfriend and drink coffee in the morning. Also, it increases autophagy, which is kind of what you want to increase, which is kind of your body eating its dead and old cells that need to be regenerated. So I kind of see it as a good thing. Maybe I'm just lying to myself. I don't know. I'm open either way, but I had a half a cup of coffee, but the rest of it was water and sparkling water because I love my spicy water. So we did one meditation, and it was a lot of, him talking and bringing people up, which was awesome. It was at this point that people are telling me how much in the chat, they're telling how much they're crying, and he's bringing these people up and they're crying, and of course I am not crying, and I love to cry. It's the best release. But of course I'm not crying, and I'm thinking, Jesus, I'm going to sign up. I'm always the one that doesn't have the big moment. I'm always the one that doesn't have that big release when I do these things. I'm always the one that doesn't feel the energy or some other nonsense. But stay tuned. That changed. Day 2 was longer. We started out with a session. We did some meditation. We had our first breath work session with Joey, who works on Kyle's team. Let me just say, I hate the breath work. I feel uncomfortable in my body. I feel uncomfortable in my body anyway. I've been telling myself I'm fat since I was this big, and I'm not. I'm fine. But I'm uncomfortable in my body no matter what. So I was uncomfortable for honestly the whole hour, but the feeling I had afterward, fucking mind-blowing. Honest to God. It was incredible, which makes me want to keep doing it. Even if I only do it once a week, I gotta keep doing it because I felt so good. I felt for the first time in a very long time, because I've experienced some kind of traumatic incidents that I have PTSD and I get flashbacks, and it's awful. I mean, obviously it's awful. It's not, this is, no one's surprised to hear this, but I've really had a hard time getting out of that constant sympathetic like I knock over a glass, I feel it knock over and I jump 70 feet off the couch. Drives my boyfriend crazy. It startles him because it startles me so much, and I just feel like with my meditation and my yoga practice, I haven't been getting anywhere because I can't step out of that sympathetic nervous system feeling, just that constant freeze for me, out of the fight, and freeze. It's freeze. I can't get out of freeze. So the breath work was incredibly healing. And I actually teared up a little at the end, and I was like, yes, because, that means I'm doing something. It means things are happening. So I actually kind of teared up and kind of accepted some parts of my body that I've never accepted since I was probably in 6th grade. It's probably been that long. Just constant fight with what exists, with what is. Then that night we were going to have our Kailego session, which everyone hops on a different Zoom call where you can actually, it's the regular kind where you can see each other's faces, and they pair you up. After the meditation and the breath work, I was in no mood for that. I'm already not really social anxiety is what I live with. So I didn't go. But I also didn't go because I felt like I was honoring myself, which is something I never do, which brought up this 1.5-hour cry and this release where I just realized that literally my entire life, my brain has been shoving my body in directions it didn't want to go. I've had so many knee injuries, I push myself through these workouts that I hate and I feel awful and I can't sleep, or it makes me really hungry and really feel out of control. It goes back to elementary school. As silly as this sounds, I was picked to play the cello. When you go in and they kind of see what your fingers are, and I have long fingers. They picked me for the cello and I was quite good at it. I wasn't the best in the state, but I wasn't bad. And my grandfather bought me a cello, so I keep playing, but that just reinforced in my brain that I don't get what I want. I get what makes sense. I always wanted to play the violin, but I just stopped listening. I just stopped honoring what I actually felt. So that trickled down, and I realized all of the things I hold myself back from. I keep things from myself. I keep myself from actually getting what I want. If I want something, I force myself to basically get the smarter thing. I just don't honor any of my feelings. So I had this huge release, and it was incredible. And then day 3 came, and I felt amazing. I bought myself a very expensive laptop to edit, and I'd been hemming and hawing and trying to find the cheapest version. And I was like, that night I was like, you know what? I effing deserve this. I'm gonna do something with this, invest in myself. But I did actually fight my urges, and I went to the Kailego session, which forced me to talk to 2 people I'd never met before on the computer on Zoom. And it was actually kind of great. And I was honestly excited. I had had so many releases and I felt so much better that I was actually really excited to go do that session. Also, we were challenged to do something for 30 days, something that would push us out of our comfort zone. A lot of people are saying, I'm going to meditate an hour every day, or I'm going to work out an hour every day. I already meditate an hour every day. I already work out every day. I push myself so hard. I realized that for the next 30 days, I'm going to lay off myself a little bit. I've just been shoving myself so hard for so long that until I stop and listen, I won't even know. It's going to take me forever to figure out what it is that I want and what I need. But also, I decided for the next 30 days, I would make a video, and that would force me to practice editing, practice being on camera, and just put myself out there, which are all things that I struggle to do. So it may be bad, but there will be 29 more of these videos. So all in all, I would say the meditation retreat was a huge success for me and literally changed my life. So I hope you will like and subscribe, check out the meditation retreat for yourself, and also just have an awesome day. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.